7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We good?
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts,
Good.
Josh Stevens
Did we
Tim
decide
Thompson.
on Kevin's fifth keeper?
and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Can't take the two quarterbacks.
Dan Bailey?
No, it's not gonna be quarterback.
He's a kicker.
Or, yeah, whatever. All right, so we are going to be doing a mock draft breakdown and kind of give you guys an idea for
What's
this year.
up, you bunch of cunts?
So, yeah.
We can say that here because we know
We
these
can.
guys.
That's for sure. Let's go through the keepers real quick. Want to start off with Alex's team? Not starting off with, anybody specific, but Alex's team, let's go there and let's kind of see what he's got keeper-wise going on.
All right, so he's definitely got one Jordy Nelson. That's an obvious, right? Shady McCoy is another one I would say is probably pretty obvious. After that, it potentially you get some questions going, right? You have Todd Gurley is another obvious. I take that back. That's 3.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Where does he go back from there?
He's got to keep Doug Baldwin
Yep.
back-to-back top 10 wide receiver in the league. His fifth keeper's a little shaky. I think it could be between Willie Snead, AP if he's looking good in camp, Larry Fitz, possibly Cameron Meredith. So there's quite a few options right now for him.
Let's have a vote here. Who do we think he's gonna keep?
Got something in my fucking tooth.
Keeping it professional for the boys here.
I'm going to go AP.
I'm gonna go AP as well, Tom.
Really?
Yeah. I
I
think
feel
just
like there's no way. Why are you going to keep a quarterback that's not even going to be a starter?
He's a running back.
Or running back. I'm stuck on the goddamn 2 quarterbacks for Kevin.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't understand why you're going to take a quarterback. I almost said it again. A running back that's not even going to be the starter, and you have Mark Ingram there. Me personally, I think he's going to go with one Willie Snead.
Well,
There's no Brandon Cooks there. He's the number 2, de facto number 2.
That is true. Maybe I'm reading too much into what the coaches are saying about AP, what Drew Brees is saying about AP. I think it's going to be a 3-headed monster there in New Orleans. And I think there's a chance that Alex likes the wide receivers available in the 6th round and not the running backs.
I agree completely with Tom. Listen, the 3-headed monsters, you got 2 nuts and Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, and then you got the big throbbing head that is Adrian Peterson thrusting his way through that offensive line. I have him keeping AP.
All right, I will update this real quick. So AP, Gurley, Nelson, Baldwin, and McCoy for Alex. Next up, let's go with Josh Schultz. How's that sound?
Going to be Le'Veon Bell, Lamar Miller, Alshon, AR-15, and Gronk. That's set in stone right now unless he makes another trade.
Yeah, talk about dumpster fires. I couldn't agree more, Tom.
On paper, I don't hate it. It's not bad. I like it.
He's I think it's one of 3 teams that have 5 guys ranked inside ESPN's top 50. So
It's just giving up a lot for Bell, though.
he definitely was, but he's a game changer. When that dude is healthy, he wins you weeks. Just look at his weeks 10 through 16 of the season last year.
You know what
that
else
pretty
is-
much won me a title.
You know what else is a game changer? The fact that none of his fucking team's healthy ever. That's a huge game changer. We have to hear him bitch the whole year again about how every time I play someone, they score 150 points.
So with Josh, we got Bell, Miller, Alshon, AR-15, and Gronk. Not bad. Gonna need that wide receiver 3 to fill in there. Let's move on to Justin. Justin's team right now, he's looking like Devonta Freeman, DeMarco Murray, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going to say Greg Olsen.
Yeah, he just loves Olsen too much. He's got a couple other options possibly. I know he likes Tevin Coleman to back up Devontae Freeman. I don't think he's going to keep him, though. And Greg Olsen's good value, and Justin likes the white guys.
Not that Justin should listen to me, not that I believe that he will, but if I'm him, I am 100% keeping Tevin Coleman. Keep that 2-headed monster that has been very successful for him. You're keeping those 3 running backs. Both guys have been injury prone. Big potential here that going into next year that one of those guys won't be on the team. You have a lot of different options that play out for present and future. And someone like Greg Olsen, you mentioned all the stuff that's going on with his brother. in past episodes that I know you guys have listened to every episode to. He's getting older. It's a position that varies drastically. I would hate to see him keep Greg Olsen, honestly. And he could still get him, I think,
Yeah.
at 6'9" if you loved him that much.
Yeah, I think Coleman has a much better chance of being drafted in the 6th than Greg Olsen does, especially where Justin picks. If Alex doesn't keep a running back or 3 running backs, he's going to go running back early in the first round. Joey's going to be taking a running back. Possibly the top 6 or 7 teams will all be going running back, so that's going to dry up quick.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. Not a lot of people are going to probably be targeting Greg Olsen right there in the first half of the draft, and the only person that maybe would be Alex,
Yeah.
just because out of spite out of Justin. Maybe just to round his team out real quick.
Yeah, but Justin's lucky. I think he's like Justin and Alex are the only 2 people in this league who like someone doesn't hate.
Yeah.
I think like
Yeah.
like they're just like quiet. They're like, whatever, guys, fantasy football. Let's just all have fun. And every once in a while, Justin gets drunk. And he's like, ha, Timmy.
You know what? I see Alex rather taking a quarterback rather than a tight end that early.
It seems right now that there's going to be very good quarterbacks thrown back into the pool this year. The first time in a while we've had guys top 3 in the position being thrown back into the pool. So it'll be interesting come the first round and see if people bite and try to get one of those elite guys.
My other favorite part about Justin is I believe after the last time Josh and I did this.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my tooth. I got some
Yeah,
way
stop
back there.
stop fingering your mouth. The last time we did this, it was just Josh and I, and Justin responded to our group message at like 3 a.m. He's like, I'm going to be the champion, because I predicted him to be in the Starfish Bowl.
So, what do you guys think? He keeps Olsen, or do you think he keeps Coleman?
I think he should keep Coleman, but right now I'm giving him Olsen.
He's going to keep Olsen.
Same here. I agree. I think that makes a very valid
You want my
point.
prediction to be the same, Justin? Fucking listen to me.
Yeah, that would be very
I
interesting.
just pointed at the
keeping
microphone.
a running
like
back that
this.
is keeping a running back that is a backup to be possibly one of your starters later on, or if Freeman does get
Yeah,
hurt.
but he's
very interesting.
He's a backup who puts up numbers.
Yeah, no, I
regardless.
agree. So, Justin, if you're listening, we know you are. We're pegging you with Olsen, but you should keep Coleman for those reasons that we just said.
And according to Danny, you're a slave, so you better listen, boy.
Next up, let's go with Mike's team. Is that
God,
all right?
Talk about dumpster fires.
So, Mike's team right now, we have, where's he on my list? Probably all in the bottom. Aaron Rodgers, Ty Montgomery, Eddie Lacy, Michael Crabtree, and Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, I think that's set right now. He's got Eddie Lacy, former Packer. He's got the current Packers running back, Aaron Rodgers. I think those 3 are kind of set right now. Crabtree and Landry as well. It's not a bad set of keepers. It might be his best group that he's had.
I'm proud of Mike. He keeps a Pro Bowl quarterback. He keeps a diabetic and 3 wide receivers. Good for you, bud.
Let's move on to Spencer. I don't even want to cut the mic convo short, but Spencer's team here, this is going to be another one of those teams that are a little weird. Right now, he's got Jonathan Stewart slated in as a keeper. I don't think he's going to.
No.
I think he's going to keep Jordan Howard, Brandon Cooks, Golden Tate, Tyreek Hill, and C.J. Anderson.
Yep, that's what I have.
Yeah, I see that as well. Do you think he just found out that The Price is Right was a show? That's why he changed his name. The Price, like he just found it in St. Louis.
Yeah, I just I'm looking at his keepers, and I just not a super big fan. You got Golden Tate, that he's the guy there right now, but Marvin Jones had a pretty good year last year, and if he kept hot like he did at the start, then who knows? They had a Galladay, so he's there. And then Brandon Cook's going to New England. There's just fucking 40 wide receivers there.
As much as everyone makes fun of Spencer, he's been to 3 Starfish. Last time he appeared in one, he finished second to last place, though, the season after.
Yeah,
Looking at his keepers, that might happen again this year. Last year he made tons of trades that kind of catapulted him into title contention, and it worked out for him. But he's going to have to do those same types of moves. The star power on this team is not there right now.
It put him in the Starfish. He beat me in the semis, but it turned him into Stephen Hawking. He is crippled going into this season. And I don't know, I just want to talk real quick about his over-sexualized homosexual tendency Snapchats that he sends to all of us all the time. Super awkward. It's a guy eating a chocolate banana the other day. Super weird. I don't really understand.
Yeah, the other one was like eating his mom's pussy or something like that. It was very awkward.
K Camp is a saint, so you
Yeah,
watch your mouth.
that's
it
what
was
he
some
said.
guy though licking between his fingers. If Spencer has a vagina, I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Weird snaps though, bro. Super
we
weird
got
snaps. Is that and a gangster painting?
Yeah.
You are a weird fucking guy, Spencer.
Again, his keepers, Howard Cooks, Tate Anderson, Hill. Next up, Jerry. So let's move on to that team. He's got some options. He's got Melvin Gordon, who I think he should keep. Terrell Pryor, who I think he more or less should keep. I know he's trying to move him. He's trying to move Kelvin Benjamin. He's trying to move LeGarrette Blount. I think we're all in agreement. Gordon, Henry, Blount, Benjamin, Pryor.
That's what I have right now, yeah. He's kind of sucks. I like Derrick Henry. I think he's got possibility to be the guy next year, but he's definitely not worth being kept this year. There was a dumbass trade for Jerry, and it's kind of handcuffing him this year. Most likely he's going to have to throw Brady back in.
I am pulling for this to work out for Jerry. I really am. I'm hoping Henry comes out on fire. DeMarco Murray takes a step back, and the Henry trade makes him looks like a genius.
Well, the thing is that really throws me off is why would he, because we've been talking about trades, right? He wanted to offer up LeGarrette Blount and his 7-1 for my 6-2. If he is that confident in one Derrick Henry, why would you be moving up to get 6-2 to get one of these running backs?
I don't know. Because he probably wants Christian McCaffrey. He absolutely loves the Panthers, and he loves the Texans.
And he loves white people. He gets a lot of Facebook fights with people that are not white.
That is true as well.
Do you-
So we agree he's going to throw Brady back in the mix.
Yeah, do you guys think that's dumb?
Yep. I sure do.
I do too. If he wants to continue and to build on the success that he had last year, he should be keeping Tom Brady. Tom Brady is going to be in line for a very successful year. I believe all three of us have him in our top 2 of our personal rankings. And when you have a quarterback that's scoring that many points, that gives you a huge advantage, and it is worth keeping.
I love the fact that on his list he keeps Justin Tucker on there. Like he might actually keep him, like he said he was going to. I hope he does.
Next up, again, Gordon, Henry, Pryor, Blount, Benjamin. Next up, we have Danny. Danny's got some options as well. A lot of castaways, type players. Sammy Watkins, nobody really wants him. Brandon Marshall, bleh. Mark Ingram, bleh. It's just, you got a lot of guys that I don't love, but they could be serviceable. But yeah, at the same time, they're probably going to suck.
Drew Brees, Mark Ingram, Brandon Marshall, Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb. Those are his five keepers.
It's definitely not, because you forgot he traded for Spencer Ware and Emmanuel Sanders.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and that was traded with me, and I forgot, you guys.
I'm going Ingram, Ware, Marshall, Watkins, Sanders. So 2 running backs, 3 receivers, throwing Drew Brees back into the pool. And I have a feeling Danny is planning on going younger this season. I think he'll be investing a lot of picks, a lot of draft capital early in this draft on younger guys. He needs to do that, though.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he throws Breeze back in. I think he goes Ingram, Ware, Sanders, Watkins, Marshall, even though I don't think he should keep Marshall, but there's really nobody else to keep besides him. And then I think he's going to go, we'll talk about it in our mock draft, but going to go with a young running back to complement his roster of poo.
Throwing it out there, with me not having a first-round pick this year, Danny will turn into the new rookie wide receiver killer. Anyone he drafts is going to die.
Next up, who haven't we touched on yet? Joey's team? Did we talk about that one?
No, I think that's pretty much set in place, though.
Okay, so Joey's team.
Well, actually, maybe not. This is probably the first year where it's not locked or set in stone right now, I believe. I think he's got 4 good ones.
All right, so I got DJ,
Yep.
Julio,
Yep.
Green, Demarius, and Kelsey. Especially with Macklin gone now, I think Kelsey is going to be the guy for him. I know he was teetering between Rob Kelly, Paul Perkins. I think he's going to be smart about it, and he's going to take Kelsey.
As shocked as I would be shocked if he kept a tight end. Joey's kind of been set in his ways, keeps 2 running back, 3 receivers, and goes running back early. He's had stud receivers pretty much every year in this league. But I think you're right, Josh. I think keeping Kelsey is the smart decision. Right now, there aren't too many good running backs on the market, and most of the teams that have them are not giving them up cheap. And we know Joey is cheap.
Very interested to see how, potentially for the first time, Joey's going to have to be very, very, have a very good draft in order to have his team deep like he normally has it. So that's the part that I hope you do it. You don't do it, Joey. Sorry, you're in my division. But, he's going to have some work to do draft day.
You know what one trade I could see doing is with Jerry, where Jerry gives up his 7-1 and Blunt to move up to 6-5, and Joey gets Blunt.
That'd be pretty smart for Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that happen.
that would be extremely smart.
So next up, let's talk about our teams are the ones left, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Keeping Luck, Zeke, Cooper, Hilton, and Devontae Adams. Set in stone, unless someone gets hurt.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Josh?
My team, I have Doug Martin, which I think a lot of people are laughing at that for keeping a guy that's not going to be there for 3 weeks, but
Well, you're going to draft 2 rookie
he's
running
going to
backs.
be, yeah, exactly.
1, 2.
It just makes sense. Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, Des Bryant, Jordan Reed. And to be honest, Jordan Reed, when healthy, he could be the most dominant tight end in the game, right underneath Gronk. So I'm taking a chance. Michael Thomas is the new number 1. I took a gamble. He was my number 1 rookie wide receiver last year for a reason. I didn't overdraft on him. I waited, and I fucking attacked Josh Schultz like a shark, and I ended up getting him in a trade. And then Keenan Allen, I'm just hoping he doesn't die. That's all.
Josh, are you set on these 5, or are you still trying to move some guys or possibly get another running back or another receiver?
No, I'm pretty set. I'm not really too worried, to be honest. I feel pretty good about it. I made the moves for a reason. This is the reason, because I'm going to fucking dominate this year. So that's where my head is.
Okay, pickle dick. I'll go to my team. I have my 4 out of my 5 set in stone: Jay Ajayi, Isaiah Crowell, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr. Number 5, I truly do not know. I put myself, I believe, in a good position to see where guys end up preseason. I have a plethora of choices in terms of either Matt Forte or Bilal Powell. I know people are going to laugh, but Terrence West, I know Kenneth Dixon is out the first 4 games, so that wouldn't be a crazy choice.
To be honest, I don't hate the Terrence West. Tom will bash it all day long.
Tom can bash it, and odds are it's not going to happen. Same thing with Jeremy Hill. Odds are it's not going to happen, but I'm giving myself options for a 3rd running back. Or Rashard Matthews, if he still looks to be the guy. Or the one that I traded for, I gave up a 15 for a 16, Jamison Crowder. I actually love that trade for me because if he comes out to be the guy in Washington, obviously he died the second half of the year last year, but he showed signs of being extremely impressive. You guys pick a 5th keeper for me because I'm not going to.
I'm going with Powell. I liked what I saw last season when he was carrying the load. You look at the last four games of the year, 29.9, 16.2, 7.4, and 19.7. That's pretty good. He's kind of shown in the past that he can be a pass-catching running back, and I think last year when given the opportunity, he showed that he could be a legit 3-down running back in the NFL.
Yeah, same here. I got Powell.
I will also show a little bit of my hand here, which I have not done much this offseason. There's still a chance that I will keep one Derek Carr. Just throwing it out there. He's top 10 quarterback with outplaying the last game of the season last year. And I hate keeping quarterbacks more than anything. I've learned my lesson. But one of the things I hate more than keeping quarterbacks is drafting quarterbacks because it's kind of a crapshoot. So there's a chance. There's an outside chance, depending on how things play out, that I could keep one Derek Carr.
I would rather keep Bilal Powell over Derek Carr.
Good thing it's not your team, dumbass.
Can you pick a keeper right now, Tim?
No.
For the show?
It's Bilal
All
Powell.
right, we're going with Paul then.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
If you guys made me pick, I was going to go Chief Steve, but okay.
All right. So
Jerry.
now we are gonna do the mock draft, and it's pretty simple. First 2 rounds. Josh Schultz, you don't have a pick, so sorry for that.
Is he the only team not represented?
He's the only team, yeah.
Ouch.
Originally, we were gonna go stretch to 8-1, and I forgot that you trade that.
So
pick away
when's
too.
his first pick?
8'6", I believe, or 8'7".
Oh yeah, you should get a good kicker by then.
So let's do our mock draft. We're gonna start off with 6-1, and then obviously go all the way down to the end of the 7th round. And each team we're gonna not re-say the keepers, but kind of give you guys an idea, and then the reason why we're gonna pick them, and then do a consensus.
All right, so we'll start with 6'1", 6'2". Josh, you can sit there and shut your mouth. Tom and I are about to have a discussion. Tommy boy, I feel like this is very obvious. Josh has played games this whole offseason. He's tried to fuck with Mike's head. He's tried to pretend like this is so difficult for him.
I still might trade back.
And that is possible. I won't say that you wouldn't do that. But if you decide to hold on to 6'1" and 6'2", specifically with the league switching over to 0.5 PPR starting next year, this is an obvious choice. Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey are going to be his two choices. I don't care what you say about Joe Mixon. Those are the picks. End of story.
I think pick number 1 will be Leonard Fournette. I really think pick 2 is going to be Joe Mixon, though. Look, all pre-draft season, whose nuts was Josh hanging from, Tim?
Yeah, he was. But Josh, this is just a game. This is to fuck with Mike's head, and you're doing the same thing. That's fine. And number 2, pick number 1's not going to be Leonard Fournette. Pick number 1's going to be the other guy, because that's just how Josh is. The obvious pick should be Leonard Fournette. He's going to make Leonard Fournette 6'2". Just so when we look back in league history, when was Fournette drafted? Number 1 overall? No, Josh picked him at number 2.
That would be dumb if he didn't pick Leonard Fournette first. Look, Danny wants...
matter.
Yes, it does, because Danny wants Christian McCaffrey. Mike wants Joe Mixon, I believe. Most people think that right now. So if he's dangling either one of those players at 6'2", Josh has a chance to move back, gain extra draft capital, and still get the guy he wants.
But you just said it best. He has that option even without drafting one of them. For his team, for the future, and for the present, Christian McCaffrey is the. This isn't even a discussion. This is you guys both being cunts now.
No, you're being a fucking idiot is what's happening. Because if Josh could move back to 6'3", still get McCaffrey, and that's the guy he wants, and gain an extra 6, it is stupid not to do that.
Right.
So he should be playing the Joe Mixon card right now.
No.
And that's what he's doing. It's smart, but I really think he wants Mixon.
I'm not saying he's dumb for doing this. I'm saying we're dumb for discussing that. Like he would actually draft Joe Mixon instead.
Why wouldn't he?
Is he
Joe
wa-
Mixon's my number 1 rookie running back. I think he should go 6'1".
Okay. Well, agree to disagree.
We'll go McCaffrey, though, so you stop bitching.
So we got Fournette at 1 or 2,
1. Dick.
and then we got McCaffrey.
Yeah, we're not doing trades as well,
At
guys.
2.
We agreed upon that.
Oh yeah, no trades.
prior.
Next up, we have pick number 3, and that is 1 Michael Agent.
This guy is literally going to whip his dick out and jizz on the board while he walks up and puts Joe Mixon's name up.
I think it's agreed.
I'm
he's
in
gonna go
agreement
Joe
with
Mixon.
that.
Yeah, I think he could shock everybody and go with Corey Davis, but I think with the signing of
I
Eric
hope he
Decker
fucking
there,
does.
with Eric Decker going there, when we broke the news at your house, you saw his fucking soul just get sucked out of his body. Mike was like, "What?" Decker went there, and everything fucking Corey Davis hype train for Mike immediately just shut down.
He has 2 running backs, one that's not a running back, one that's old and won't be around for long. He's going to have to take Joe Mixon. But, hey, no, Mike might go up to him and be like, Zay Jones!
Mike's in a good spot, though. Because
Yeah.
I like all 3 of these rookie running backs that we just listed. I really think all of them have a chance to finish as the RB1 this year in the top 12. Look, we saw Frank Gore do it last year, Latavius Murray, and both of those players did not play well, and they still finished in the top 12. It is possible for all 3 of these guys to do that, and he's lucky as hell that this class is so deep. So is Josh. You're completing a rebuild in 1 year, technically. You played your cards right. You understood the type of talent that was coming out. You threw the season. It was
I did
smart.
not throw
Yes,
it.
you did.
Yeah.
Tim, didn't he throw the season?
He threw the season.
But it was smart.
Some of us didn't have to do that. Some of us just turned around, went from a 2-win team that didn't finish in last, unlike Josh's
I
team.
don't know
that
how you
did.
could say through the season. I traded away AR-15 and still got Dez back in return and a higher pick. That's not throwing the season. It's still getting a good player for a good player. Plus, I moved up.
All right,
one
we're not
spot.
here to justify your
You were trying to
actions,
lose.
young man.
I was not trying to lose.
The point, what I will say
It was
about
smart.
what I will say about Mike's team is right back. I love giving Mike shit. He set himself up. He's in a good position now to draft, to build a team for the future. and get somewhere around 500 like he's used to.
So right now we got four. Jesus, we got Fournette, we got McCaffrey, we got Joe Mixon going to Mike. Next up we have Danny.
Danny is probably very upset with the way this all played out so far.
I think he wants McCaffrey.
Yeah.
We might see him trade up and make that move. I know Josh wouldn't mind Dalvin Cook. A lot of people like Cook.
I don't mind Dalvin Cook at all.
Some people have him in their top 3. But for me, it's between 2 guys, Dalvin Cook, and you guys might laugh, but Kareem Hunt. Danny has Spencer Ware right now, and he is notorious for targeting handcuffs.
Yeah. I think Dalvin Cook will be the guy.
I do too.
I just don't think he wants to run into that position this fucking early in a rebuild, I don't think he wants to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased because I don't think that highly of Kareem Hunt. I just think Dalvin is the guy, and I think that's what way we'll see Danny go, and we may see him in a purple jersey.
I agree. I'll go Dalvin.
Next up, Kevin.
Hey.
Kind of ugly.
I kind of already feel like I know what he's going to do. There could be a wrench thrown in there where he says, I'm going to take Corey Davis, but I think he's going to go Marshawn Lynch. I think he's just going to go best available and theoretically screw Joey over. So
I hope he does that, but I don't think he's going to do that.
I think that's what he's going to do.
I do too. I think he knows he needs a running back. Right now we had him keeping Duke Johnson. Kevin likes Duke Johnson. He's drafted him the last 2 years, but I think he knows that he's not that number 1 or number 2 running back that he needs. He's going to go best player available, and I think it's going to be Lynch. So, sorry, Tim.
All right, Lynch it is.
Who do you think he would go with?
I think Corey Davis.
I just don't. He doesn't even know what Corey Davis is. So, I think he's going to go best available, and it's going to be Marshawn Lynch. I just think that's the way it is. He could shock us if Justin doesn't keep Coleman. Maybe he goes Coleman there, just because he may think like Coleman's a little bit younger. Freeman might sign somewhere else, or Coleman might sign somewhere else.
We had Justin not keeping Coleman.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, that's another choice for him.
But I'm thinking Lynch is going to be the guy.
All right.
So with that being said, we have Joey up next, and again, Joey, we have him keeping only 1 running back, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end.
Tevin Coleman has to be Tevin Coleman. If Marshawn Lynch isn't there, he I don't see any way he doesn't draft Tevin Coleman.
So, the best available running backs, Tom, who are we looking at?
I believe it's Gore, Robert Kelly, Woodhead, Gillislee, Coleman, Perkins, Riddick, Abdullah, Stewart.
You know what? Hey,
Gillislee.
It's realistic. Joey could, being in win now mode, might hurt him long term, but he might draft just Frank Gore. Think that Frank Gore gives him the best shot to, compete and win this year. He could go Frank Gore.
I just don't think he will go Gore. Joey, he kind of needs a rebuild. He definitely needs a guy who has a chance to come in and possibly be one of his keepers next year. And I love Frank Gore, but I just don't really know how long he's going to be around, how consistent he's going to be this year. He's got quite a few running backs nipping at his heels. And if you watched him play, he looked extremely slow last year. He's still playing a great offense, but I would have to go Gillislee with this pick.
Yeah, man, I just don't.
So I said Coleman, Tom said Gillislee. For all intents and purposes, Josh, say who you think it might be, but you're going to have to pick one at Tom Rise, guys, or convince us otherwise.
It honestly could be one or the other.
It could be Paul Perkins.
Yeah, I don't
think it will be, but if he's labeled the starter.
You know what? If I had to go with somebody, I think Joey's going to go high upside, and it's going to be Tevin Coleman. That's who I have. It could be Gillislee, but I think Coleman would be the guy if he really had to make a choice.
Next up.
Moving on to Joshy again.
Ooh,
Tim, what are you thinking for Josh right here?
it's interesting.
This is interesting. He's obviously loaded at the running back position.
Team is now looking like Fournette, McCaffrey, and Doug Martin.
He's got 3 receivers. One of them's been known to be injury prone, and Keenan Allen. So I think he's going to need to address that spot. And with how we had keepers going, Alex is going to be targeting a wide receiver at 6'8".
Yeah.
Josh knows that. So I think he's going receiver here.
Best available wide receivers right now, we have Julian Edelman, Larry Fitzgerald, Crowder, Pierre Garcon, Diggs, or you start reaching into
Diggs
the
is
rookies.
gone.
Or I'm sorry, is Diggs gone? Oh yeah, Diggs is gone. I'm sorry.
I say he's gonna go with Corey Davis.
I could see that.
He's gonna try to keep young, keep the upside. Obviously, there's guys there, but there's guys there. Who knows how. I feel like Corey Davis still has the opportunity to be the number one, develop into a big time wide receiver. Josh loves Corey Davis. That's where my heart's going.
I might be a little off here, but Josh likes troubled wide receivers, and I know he once in this offseason has attempted to trade for this guy. I'm going to go with Martavis Bryant.
Ooh, that's
I think his upside is high-end wide receiver number 2. I don't think there's many guys left on the board that have a realistic shot of scoring 20-plus points a game like this dude does. And he's probably the best overall athlete of the wide receivers left. He's young. He doesn't have many miles on his tires right now. He's got a new kid. He seems to be grounded, so I'm going to go Bryant. I think it's a total upside pick, but I think that's what I would do.
I like that.
Over Julian Edelman and Larry Fitzgerald?
Absolutely.
I don't think you want anything to do with Julian Edelman or Larry Fitzgerald, in all honesty. They're both aging. Julian Edelman, he might be still the guy, the wide receiver for Tom Brady, but with the addition of Cooks, a lot of people are scared and worried.
I'll go with Bryant. I like that pick for Josh.
Josh, do you like that?
I don't hate it. It's not bad.
Probably not what you have listed on your little 4 names in your wallet, though.
No, it's definitely not. But
Oh, update. There's
bad.
a good chance that Wags will be drafting for Josh. So who knows? This draft might get real crazy.
there is a possibility.
I will definitely be trying to bribe him on draft day.
Next up, we have Alex.
Alex is definitely going to be looking. Name Alex's keepers again.
He's got AP, Gurley, Nelson, Baldwin, and Shady McCoy. So
three
running backs and 2 wide receivers.
He could go wide receiver here, but I don't know if Alex is going to be able to get away from Tom Brady. I think that Tom Brady name there is going to, Tom threw the stat out to all of us that, or maybe it was just in our 4-person thing. I don't know. The last 3 years, the number 1 quarterback has been in the Starfish Bowl. So I would not be surprised to see Alex go Tom Brady here.
I'm going to go Edelman. Alex likes those wide receivers. Right now, he's the top wide receiver on the board. And I think with what we have slated in as his keepers, it would make the most sense. He's shown that he's not afraid to go after those bets. So,
You know what's funny? I forgot Brady was on the board with Joey's pick. I would have contemplated that as well with Joey.
And then go into the second round without a running back? I don't see it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.